How's it going, everybody? It has been a long time since you guys have seen me. In fact, my last video I uploaded, I've got a little cheat sheet here that I've wrote down because I wanted to make sure I get to everything I want to in this video. The last video I uploaded was June 12th of this year. It is now October 3rd. So that is several months since you guys have seen me. I've got multiple different reasons for that, and I'll get into all of them. But it's been kind of a whirlwind here lately, and I just want to begin by getting into why I started Dunford Outdoors in the first place. So ever since I was little, like real little, I have just been fascinated by, one, professional bass fishermen, and two, TV deer hunters. When I was little, I would literally get the new Monster Bucks DVD every year, watch it multiple times throughout the year. Just couldn't wait till deer season came. And then when spring rolled around and summer, I just absolutely loved fishing, whether it's bluegill fishing, whatever. It wasn't until I was a little bit older that I got into bass fishing. But even before I got into bass fishing, I loved watching on, back then it was the Versus channel. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, copyright issues. But anyway, the Versus channel, when I was little, had a lot of pro fishing and different things like that on. I absolutely loved it. I've got a little jean jacket from when I was probably 5 years old that has patches sewn all over it and stuff from, I wanted to look like a pro bass fisherman when I went fishing. But anyway, getting into why I started Dunford Outdoors was I wanted to capture my passion on film. I wanted to capture the memories, the fish I caught, the hunting, things like that. And I wanted to basically do my own show. And even before I did YouTube, I looked into what it would take to even be on something like the Outdoor Channel or the Pursuit Channel or something like that. And it costs a lot of money. So social media and YouTube were the route that I chose to go because it's basically free, it's cheap, and it could actually earn you money in the long run. Which gets into my next point. I've always wanted a job or a career in the outdoor industry. And I felt at the time Dunford Outdoors was my way of doing that, or having at least a place in the outdoor industry. And I had the chance to do it. I originally started Double A Outdoors with my best friend Anthony, and that just kind of led into, that was kind of the precursor for Dunford Outdoors. And then I started kind of going a little bit of a different direction and started Dunford Outdoors, and it's now developed into what it is now. I'm very proud of it. Have about a combined 10,000 or more social media followers. Back at the height of my posting and stuff, I had over 100,000 people that would check my content yearly, and I thought that was very impressive. And was very proud of that, and very proud of what I've done so far, and what's still to come. Anyway, guys, so that's why I started it, and that was kind of my dream of what I've always envisioned was being a pro bass fisherman and being a TV deer hunter. And like I said, the big reason was, is that a realistic thing of becoming either one of those? Maybe, maybe not. And then, I just wanted to give myself at least the opportunity to do that and just live my dream as close to that as possible. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished in my fishing career. At this point, I was hoping to have a bass boat, be fishing as a pro, like at least on the pro side or on the boater side. And I was hoping to have a lot of other options in different states to deer hunt, to be able to film more content and more hunting stuff. I wanted to basically be a pro bass fisherman from early spring to fall, and then fall and winter basically deer hunt. And I think that's what makes this channel unique, is a lot of channels either just show hunting or fishing. This is literally both. It's got seasons. We have a fishing season and basically a hunting season. So I think that's what makes this channel neat, and is why it's drawing a lot of people to this channel. But I've, to be 100% honest, guys, I've kind of lost my way in the outdoors. I kind of got burnt out. I kind of got I set these high expectations, and when I didn't reach them, it really kind of just crushed me, to be 100% honest. like another year would go by, I didn't have a bass boat. Another year would go by, I wasn't fishing as a pro. Another year would go by that I wasn't a big time TV deer hunter. And I set these super high expectations with an unrealistic timeline to accomplish them in. And I basically, when I failed at that, or, I set a year that I wanted to be fishing basically on the Bassmaster Elite Series. And, the truth is, that's super difficult to accomplish. And I was just kind of almost unrealistic with myself with the timeline that I had given myself. And when I got to that point, it just truly depressed me, truly, just discouraged me. And it got to where I was just like, this ain't fun no more. And then it really affected my tournament performance as a co-angler. Being a co-angler is hard. It don't mean you're going to win every tournament. I'm beyond blessed and thank the good Lord so much for the 3 second place finishes that I've had. And that's something I don't take lightly. It's something I don't, brag about. It's something I don't, I truly give all the glory to the good Lord, because it's nothing I did. It's the knowledge and stuff that he had given me and the passion that he had given me, and, just the decisions that he helped me make those days. None of that was my own doing. I can tell you that right now. And just my recent tournament performances show that it's not my own doing, because I've been struggling. But a lot of that struggling has to do with finding my own inner battles of, just getting discouraged and things like that. So with all that said, hopefully I'm not jumping around a lot. Hopefully this makes sense when I go back and watch it and things like that. But I just felt like it's a video I need to make. But getting into that, on the industry side of things, something that's really been discouraging me a lot is just how, I guess, social media has changed the outdoor industry. When I first got into bass fishing, what I loved about it was the fact that anybody could basically live their dream, come from basically a complete nobody to fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series. It didn't really matter on how good of equipment you had or fast of a boat or anything like that. There was a pathway forward for you. I'm very grateful Major League Fishing still kind of has that with the BFLs and working their way up. And even that has changed, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Same with the hunting industry. Used to, it didn't matter the size of deer or anything like that you killed. Deer management's always been a thing, stuff like that. But, if a guy, wanted to kill a little 4-point buck or a 6-point buck, okay, good for him. He filled his freezer. It was a trophy for him. Good deal. Now, if somebody does that, they get put down on social media. They get shamed. They get, they're not a good hunter or whatever. Just all this crap. I'm just going to call it as it is, crap, that gets fed to people and bashing people and stuff just because they didn't kill a 180-inch deer. So, that's something that kind of burnt me out a little bit too. Like I said, when I first got into the bass fishing and stuff, the big thing is I set my expectations too high. But it seemed like when there was a pathway for people like me that didn't come from wealth or anything like that, far from it, that, I never had, I did have a bass boat for a short time that, it was literally a 30-year-old bass boat that, it could barely start and stuff like that, and eventually it just got so bad that I just had to get rid of it. But, I've never had a nice bass boat. I've never had any of this stuff. I've never had great technology, electronics or anything like that. So I've literally had to basically work towards everything that I've ever wanted. And a lot of people do that. And, and a lot of people do that and then get the greatest equipment. But I've never been fortunate enough to do that. And it seems like now to compete in big bass tournaments, you have to have a really good setup boat because of the electronics. This ain't a Bash live scope video, so please don't think that's the case. But anymore, if you don't have live scope, you're pretty much going to struggle in a tournament. And I applaud these tournament trails for now taking a step back to, kind of limit some of this. Because if we don't limit it, technology is just going to get so far off that we're basically going to be out there with virtual reality goggles, being able to see fish in the water. It'd almost be like a golfer being able to put on these goggles, look down, read the putt, and it show them exactly the angle and stuff to putt at in order to make a perfect putt every time. And that's just not, I don't like the direction that bass fishing is going, because what used to make bass fishing so exciting is that man had to figure out the pattern in pattern fish the way that God created them, and we had to basically use our own knowledge and not equipment. Now there was down imaging, side scan, all this stuff that did show fish, on structure, but it wouldn't show the fish actually moving, coming to your bait and seeing exactly how they react to your bait and all that. So, I mean, there is technology, and I do believe some technology is good. I believe LiveScope can be good. I believe it's a valuable tool. Like I said, it's a whole conversation for another time. But it seems like now, if you don't have the best rods or tackle or LiveScope, you get made fun of. You get ran down. You get put down. You get made fun of for trying to live your dream. On the hunting side, if old Billy Bob wants to go out in his flannel shirt and shoot a 4-point buck on the opening day of deer season, Billy Bob is called a dumb redneck and doesn't want to, people say, oh, I can't believe he killed that. He don't know nothing about deer management. He don't know nothing about that. But the fact of the matter is, he filled his freezer. He's got a freezer full of deer meat. You can't eat the horns. And I'm all for deer management. I do it myself. I try not to shoot small deer unless I have to fill the freezer, which I won't do that till the end of the season. But I will let small deer walk to grow because there's tons of doe to shoot. But then the next problem is, okay, well, let's say a guy does that and then he shoots a deer. Well, let's say it's only a 110-inch, 128-inch 8-pointer. Well, now he's getting made fun of because it's not a 150-inch deer, 180-inch deer. Social media has become such a dark place in a way for the outdoor industry that if you're not killing a 150-inch deer plus, or catching a 6-pound bass plus, or winning every tournament, or have the nicest bass boat to show videos in, or you're not shooting the newest Matthews or Hoyt bow, or using the latest, most expensive gear, people can put you down for that, and a lot of people do put you down for that. When the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that are putting you down do not have the equipment that they're putting you down for not having. They're basically being hypocrites. And sorry for this little bit of a rant here, and I normally stay away from doing stuff like this, but I just want to be honest with you guys why I'm not posting. So on top of being burnout from not accomplishing my goals realistically, or being realistic about them, and then this dark place that social media has become for the outdoor industry, it's been really discouraging. Now, with that said, have I stopped filming content? No. Have I stopped loading content? Yes. And that is something that's going to change, because I got to a point to where I felt like I was getting judged for everything I uploaded, and like it wasn't good content. Like I was like, oh, I can't reach the level of content that people are wanting to watch nowadays. So I got really hard on myself and down on myself. And the matter of fact is that wasn't true. And I stopped uploading. And I've got 2 or 3 videos I could upload right now, but I've decided not to upload them and kind of just start fresh from this video moving forward. But I got too worried about what people think instead of just doing what I love, and I lost my way in that, and I stopped doing what I love and started trying to do what other people love, if that makes sense. I lost my way in the fact of I worried too much about what people on social media said and stuff like that, and stopped being me. And that's really caused a lot of my problems, I think, in the tournament industry. I felt like, I did so good my first couple of years that I set an expectation on myself that I might not ever reach again, because I felt people wanted me to do that every tournament because of the videos and stuff, and that just wasn't the case. And I want people to like Dunford Outdoors because they like what I'm doing, they like who I am as a person, and they like that I'm a clean YouTuber and social media person. I don't curse, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that stuff, and I'm very open about my faith. And I want people to come to me for that reason, because I want it to be a place that you can see that type of content, not because of I'm catching 10-pound bass all the time, or I'm killing 150-inch deer all the time. I'm just an average Joe who has a passion for the outdoors and loves doing this sort of thing and capturing it. I enjoy editing, I enjoy filming. It's just a perfect storm. It's the perfect thing for me to do. So hopefully all this makes sense. Hopefully you guys understand all this. Like I said, this isn't to bash anybody. If somebody wants to go out and kill a 180-inch deer and that's all they do, go do it. Do what makes you happy. That is the point of this video. Do what makes you happy. If you want to go catch little 1-pound bass out of a 14-foot john boat, if that's what makes you happy, do it, and don't let anybody tell you any different. If that's what makes you happy, go for it. The thing that drives my gear, or grinds my gears the most this time of year is I'm in all these hunting groups on Facebook and stuff. Somebody will get on there and post, it's not that big, but, and then it's a picture of their 8-point deer or 6-point deer or 4-point deer, you know, just a smaller deer. If you have to justify what you just shot or caught or whatever, then it's sad, because we shouldn't have to. That is a trophy to you. That's why you shot it. So I'm happy for that person. I'm just as happy for that person because he might only get 4 hours a week to hunt. And if that's a trophy to him, by all means, congratulations. And feel the exact same way for him as I would anybody that kills a 180-inch deer. I was watching a podcast here a couple of days ago. It was a Michael Waddell podcast with Travis Turner, T-Bone. And they said something that was really good. When we die, our deer mounts and stuff like that become a burden for other people, because then they got to figure out what they want to do with it. Deer mounts are literally just a glimpse or a memory of that moment, or should be. And it's a reflection of that. Now, a lot of people use them as trophies and bragging rights and stuff like that. But truly, I believe if you're hanging deer on your wall just for bragging rights, you might be doing it for the wrong reason to begin with. But anyway, something I didn't realize that they do, that I just thought was outstanding, is they don't score a lot of their deer, because to them it's not about the score of the deer, it's about the memories they make hunting and in camp and things like that. And that's what I've got to get back to, because I got to where I was worrying too much about the score of the deer, what place I finished in a tournament, or stuff like that, instead of just being me and being happy and what makes me happy. So with all that said, it's, you know, I know it's a lot. I'm already going. The camera says I've been going for about 17 minutes. That is what has really hindered my uploading, but there's some other stuff going on in life that's really been hindering a lot of it too. My wife Marissa was in a car wreck back in January, and it messed her hip up pretty bad to the point that she's got to have surgery here, hopefully in a couple months. She's been in really bad pain ever since. It's been almost a year. That's very frustrating in its own. It's hard seeing your spouse suffer for almost a year from something that wasn't her fault. But, you know, good Lord works, you know, in his timing. And I believe, you know, when his time is due for her to be and have surgery and hopefully be out of pain and all that, then, you know, it's his will be done. But, so that has been a big thing. I know we did the video last year about us going to be building a house. We've had to put that on hold because of her, you know, her injury and stuff like that. And I'm currently sitting in my mom's house that we are building. It was a nice quiet place, so I wanted to just come here and film and be off to myself and be able to film this. You can see there's just, be over here, just insulation on the walls, and we got the window frame and stuff, so we're still working on it. But like I said, guys, it's been a up and down last couple of years, and I'm very thankful for you guys that have hung in there and been patient, and all the people that I run into out in public that come up to you and say, hey man, you know, I watch your videos and stuff like that. Guys, that means the absolute world to me. I never in my life dreamed I'd get to a point where just random people would come up and recognize me, and that's not why I'm doing it. And from this moment forward, right now, I'm going to make a promise to you guys that I'm still going to make content. Don't know the frequency it's going to upload. I'm not going to guarantee I don't get burnt out again. But the content you see is going to be 100% me. It's going to be 100% who I am, and not trying to pretend to be Kevin Van Dam or Michael Waddell or anybody like that. And something that I've lost that I need to do is focus on my faith more. When I first started Dunford Outdoors and it started growing, the Lord convicted my heart to be able to use this as a platform to spread his word, to just be a testimony for him, and just, you know, hopefully be a disciple and to lead people to Christ. And I have strayed away from that because I selfishly and just, you know, just dumbly got too worried about possibly offending people, or people saying, oh, I'm going to stop watching his videos because he's a Christian. And that's not what I want to do. That's not me. Like I said, that is not me. That was me almost being a sellout to the industry, and I'm not going to do that. And I applaud those YouTubers that are open like that and stuff. So, like I said, from now on, guys, it's going to be different. It's going to be a new beginning. I truly believe that. It's hunting season. It's currently October 3rd when I'm filming this. Not sure when you guys are going to see this, but I went hunting last night and already filmed. So, New stuff's in the works. Not sure exactly how it's going to go yet, but anyway, guys, appreciate you watching this. Just some stuff I need to get off my chest and things like that. So like I said, I'm not sure, just because of the life stuff going on in life, I'm not sure still what the frequency of uploads are going to be and all that, but you know, there's just been a lot going on this year, and like I said, there's been a lot on my mind. So hopefully this video makes sense. So if you guys would, please hit the subscribe button, please drop a comment, please hit that thumbs up button, all that good stuff. Helps the channel go and things like that. So definitely appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you being patient, like I said, and just hanging in there. So more stuff's coming and things like that, and I've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that going to be bigger and better than anything I've ever imagined. So you guys will get to know about that. It always seems like I've got some secret that I'm keeping from you guys, but truly got something going on, guys. It's truly life-changing. So eventually I'll be able to tell you guys all about it. So just hang in there, guys. And like I said, appreciate you all. So see you next time.